Fractions and decimals are like two different languages. They might look different, but they both serve the same purpose. They both tell us about parts of a whole. For instance, a pie can be divided into fractions, or it can be represented in decimal form. Sometimes we need to switch between these languages. This is especially true in math, where understanding both forms can make problem-solving easier. This is where converting fractions to decimals becomes important. It allows us to move seamlessly between different types of problems. Imagine reading a recipe with fractions, but your measuring cups use decimals. Without conversion, it would be hard to follow the recipe accurately. Knowing how to convert helps us understand and use numbers in different ways. It bridges the gap between two systems of measurement. This skill is useful in many areas of math and even in everyday life. From shopping to construction, conversions are everywhere. Whether you are baking a cake, calculating discounts, or measuring lengths, understanding both fractions and decimals is crucial. Being able to convert fractions to decimals makes things easier. It simplifies complex problems and helps us find solutions faster. It's like having a secret code to unlock a whole new world of numbers. This skill opens up new possibilities and makes math more accessible. The good news is that converting fractions to decimals is simpler than you might think. It might seem daunting at first, but once you understand the basic principle, it becomes second nature. The secret lies in one basic operation: division. This fundamental math skill is the key to unlocking the mystery of fractions and turning them into decimals. A fraction is made up of two parts: the numerator, which is the top number, and the denominator, the bottom number. Understanding these components is crucial for the conversion process. To convert a fraction to a decimal, we simply divide the numerator by the denominator. That's it. This straightforward division process is all it takes to transform a fraction into its decimal form. This simple division unlocks the decimal equivalent of any fraction. No matter how complex the fraction may seem, the division method will always work. Think of the fraction bar as a division sign. This visualization helps in understanding that the fraction is essentially a division problem waiting to be solved. It's like a magic trick, but with numbers. Once you get the hang of it, converting fractions to decimals can be fun and rewarding. So, grab your calculator and start practicing. Let's look at some examples to make this super clear. Take the fraction 1/2. This is a common fraction that we encounter in everyday life, whether it's in recipes, measurements, or even in time. To convert this to a decimal, we divide the numerator, which is 1, by the denominator, which is 2. This process is straightforward and helps us understand the relationship between fractions and decimals. 1 divided by 2 is 0.5. This means that 1/2 is the same as 0.5 in decimal form. It's a simple yet powerful way to see how fractions can be represented differently. So, 1/2 is equal to 0.5. This conversion is useful in many practical situations, such as when you're working with money or measurements. Now, let's try another one. 3/4. This fraction is also quite common and can be found in various contexts like cooking or dividing tasks. Dividing the numerator, which is 3, by the denominator, which is 4, we get 0.75. This shows how fractions can be easily converted to decimals with a simple division. Therefore, 3/4 is equivalent to 0.75. Understanding this conversion helps in various mathematical calculations and real-life applications. See how easy it is? With a bit of practice, converting fractions to decimals becomes second nature, making math more approachable and fun. The key to mastering this skill is practice. Grab a piece of paper and try converting some simple fractions to decimals. You can start with fractions like 1/4, 2/5, or 5/8. As you practice, you'll find that the process becomes second nature. Don't be afraid to use a calculator to check your answers at first. Remember, the more you practice, the more confident you'll become. Soon, you'll be converting fractions to decimals like a pro.